Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Broonzy, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horses.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
The child said, "Mother, look at my picture." She saw the writing on the wall. She asked me, what's a mother to do? Criticize or celebrate that scrawl? Some say this world is a green crazy salad, waiting for an artist with a more craveable palette. But if I'm given this canvas to play on, why do I always wind up wielding the blue crayon? Blue crayon for you and for me, as somber and dismal as it may seem. I need to go outside the lines if they do not recognize my dreams. Blue crayon for day and for night, a luxurious aqua bed for us to lay on. The rainbow fades away from our sight, leaving behind just a sky blue crayon. Now others believe in a black and white universe. They say all I do makes it go from bad to worse. But if they pray for the souls that they prey on, they might find joy in the scrawls of blue crayon. Blue crayon for right or for wrong, this is the song of the dance of consciousness. And when the thing with feathers flies, it raises every color eyes. Blue crayon for heaven and hell, we might as well ask the spirit to let the light stay on. The keepers draw us away from the rocks, guarding our lives with the true blue crayon.
I didn't write that part. I had a little help.
Now some say that wisdom is written upon the wall, but get on your knees cause the writers are not tall. And if you want to save it to read later, magnetize it to the refrigerator. Blue crayon in kitchen display, every day has the friends and family pass by, just like the museums with their glass, preserving the art as artists die. Blue crayon will never grow old, the fingers that hold it grow weak and release their grasp. Yes, we all wither and wrinkle and pass, and with our last gasp, we remember blue crayon.
All right.
Thank you, thank you.
That was a great song.
Thank you.
Our guest is Hank Stone. My name is Ralph Litwood, and our show is Horses Sing Ornament. Welcome, Hank.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Our pleasure. You keep them coming like that, we'll be happy.
From the next song, I want to talk about luck. Everybody, we're all pretty lucky here, right? We're in a creative mode, we're making music, we're making TV shows, but sometimes we could use a little more luck, and I think maybe I'd like to give you a little good luck charm. It's a genuine imitation rabbit's foot.
Thank you.
I don't know if you had one when you were a kid, but I sure did. I remember I was in the schoolyard showing off my rabbit's foot, and everybody was very impressed.
Is this an Irish rabbit?
I possibly, because it is green, so. But the one kid came up and he said, it wasn't lucky for the rabbit. So that was, I guess, my first brush with cynicism. So I always thought about that for a long time, and I wrote this song a couple years ago. So it's called One Side's Up and the Other Side's Down. A three-legged rabbit, like a wobbly rocket. He's looking for his missing limb. Little does he know, it's in your pocket. Lucky for you, not for him. One side's up and the other side's down. You laugh like a beggar and cry like a clown. Stand on your head and your smile is a frown. One side's up and the other side's down. Well, I nailed a horseshoe over my door. My friend asked me, hey, what's that for? It's for luck, is what I said. He said, you'll be lucky it don't fall on your head. One side's up and the other side's down. You laugh like a beggar and cry like a clown. Stand on your head and your smile is a frown. One side's up and the other side's down. Now if you spill some salt, you gotta throw some salt. Break a mirror, reflect on your fault. Don't blame Lady Luck or the hand of fate, when maybe it was only something you ate. My baby, she's crying. I say, what's the matter? She found a 4-leaf clover underneath a ladder. Black cat crossed her path, no good, 'cause all she had to knock on was some rotten wood. One side's up and the other side's down. You laugh like a beggar and cry like a clown. Stand on your head and your smile is a frown. One side's up and the other side's down. Break it down. Is it the fall of the cards, the roll of the dice? Why does no one ever talk about virtue or vice? Call it instant karma or just desserts. The future's unknowable and the truth always hurts. One side's up, the other side's down. You know the seesaw shows you how the world goes round. The rabbit is laughing at the fox and the hound. One side's up and the other side's down. One side's up and the other side's down. You laugh like a beggar and cry like a clown. Stand on your head and your smile is a frown. One side's up and the other side's down. Bring it home.
All right.
Thank you.
Good material.
Thanks. Been working on them for a while. So,
That was like a different take on Stevie Wonder's Very Superstitious.
yeah. Okay, there's some of that in there, yes. Superstition. Very superstitious. On my CD, there's a picture of a train, and that came about because a lot of my songs have trains in them. Now, I'm not a big railroad buff or anything, but these songs, the trains just kept coming into the songs. So, I'm going to do one that's on the album with the train on it, and it gave the title to the song. It's actually a take on an old blues tune, but you'll see. Well, I followed her to the station. suitcase in my hand. Tried to have a conversation, but there were no words at my command. 'Cause it's hard to tell, and it's hard to tell when all your love is in vain. I didn't know how I felt until I saw that train. But Robert Johnson knew. Robert Johnson knew. Robert Johnson knew what's in my heart. When the train came in the station, I looked her in the eye. I fought off the temptation to tell her another lie. 'Cause it's hard to tell, and it's hard to tell when all your love is in vain. I didn't know how I felt until I saw that train. But Robert Johnson knew. Robert Johnson knew. Robert Johnson knew what's in my heart. That train crosses a bridge to nowhere that you want to be. You pay your fare and you get no guarantee. When the train left the station, it had two lights on behind. Blue light was my blues, and you know the red light was my mind. Because it's hard to tell, and it's hard to tell when all your love is in vain. I didn't know how I felt until I saw that train. Robert Johnson knew. Robert Johnson knew. Robert Johnson knew what's in my heart. Robert Johnson knew what's in my heart.
All right.
Thank you much, thank you.
A great one, too. We should let folks know how they can find out more about your performing schedule and your recording.
So my website is hankstone.net, www.hankstone.net. And you can find me on YouTube, too. Just put in Hank Stone or Hank Stone Band, because I do have a band that we've been, in fact, the record that we're working on now, it should be out hopefully shortly after this show airs the first time. That'll be out, so you'll be able to find that, all over the web. But check out that site. And this song is going to be on that record. Some of my friends, Gathering Time, are singing on backup on this. So I'm very happy to have them on board the train. It's another railroad theme song. If I were a railroad engine, you'd be my steam, building up inside me, drive me to my dream. If I were a railroad engine, if I were a railroad engine, you'd be the engineer, work my brake and throttle, just like in real life, dear. If I were a railroad engine, if I were a railroad engine, you'd be my track to keep me on the straight and narrow and show me the way back. If I were a railroad engine, well, if I were a railroad engine, sunless canyons, so I could run from ridge to ridge. If I were a railroad engine, if I were a railroad engine. Well, if I were a railroad engine, you might be a hobo. You'd wine and dine in ragged splendor with a name like Ruby Lobo. If I were a railroad engine, and if I were a railroad engine, you'd be my song. Casey Jones would never die, nor lovers do each other wrong. If I were a railroad engine, if I were a railroad engine, if I were a railroad engine. Thank you.
All right. The hits keep rolling in.
Like a train, right? You can look at the schedule. They're not on the schedule, but they come in anyway. It's like a mystery train. I'm going to go back and do something from my first record back in 2005. And it's kind of a spiritual thing. You know, the labyrinth, you kind of a path, circular path, you walk in and then you walk out, you kind of meditate while you're doing it. This is inspired by that.
My wife built one of those in our backyard.
Great. Consuela steps into the labyrinth. Bearing her grief, she walks around. And in the center of the labyrinth, what she's lost is what she's found. Mama and Papa tell young Nigel just what to do and where to go. Courage takes him from the labyrinth along the paths that he loves so. And when this world turns dark and maze-like, with sad choices ill-defined, labyrinth is waiting for you, promising you peace of mind. Now whom to marry, that's a question. Bedeviling many a fine young lass. Esperanza in the labyrinth knows her love will come to pass. Lately fortune smiles upon me. I am not visited by doubt. I took my lover to the labyrinth. We went in and we came out. When this world turns dark and maze-like, with sad choices ill-defined, labyrinth is waiting for you, promising you peace of mind. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you kindly. I wanted to do like 100 songs, but I don't think we have time for all that. So I'm trying to figure the ones I most want to do out of this. And I'll try one of my more recent ones. This is quite a bit different, but we'll see how it works. Don't have the answers to any of your questions. There's no book upon my shelf that's gonna tell me how to make it through this world. And there ain't nobody far or near who can tell you what you need to hear. You'll have to figure out for yourself just how you're gonna make it through this world. I've never seen an armchair in a foxhole. All the philosophers are in their graves, and conflict will go on, and there seems to be no right or wrong. You gotta harden your heart, so the cynics all say, if you're gonna make it through this world. And if there is no help from up above, still my response will be to love, 'cause I believe that's the only way we're ever gonna make it through this world. Love is how we'll make it through this world. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, very good.
Got through that one. It's the first time playing it out in public, I think, or maybe the second.
You came to music a little bit late in life.
Not really. I started early when I was 8 years old with the guitar. And I had rock and roll bands as a teenager, but I was very shy, so I didn't push it, you know. And I started writing songs. And I put the guitar away for a while, but I kept writing songs in my head and writing down the words. And I always knew after raising a family that I'd come back out and do it again. So it was around 2001 that I started hitting the open mic circuits and, on Long Island. And you know, all of a sudden, you know, I was quite a bit older, you know, but I was accepted. You know, people said, "Oh, I like that. I want to play over here. I want to play there." And I met a lot of people to collaborate with, you know, and it's been a lot of fun since then. So being able to bring these songs out to people and get them recorded in nice versions and stuff. So it's, you know, if I never make a dime, it's okay too. I just want it out there. You know.
All right. I'm glad you're putting it out there.
How much time we got left?
About 5 minutes.
About 5 minutes. Want to go into the jamming thing?
Sure.
This one's a sing-along, so the guys in the studio can help me out if they feel like it. Let me give us a little intro there. When I sail upon the ocean, when I sail upon the sea, when I sail upon the ocean, the water talks to me. Oh yes, the water talks to me, boys, in a voice so deep and blue, and I don't know what it's saying, and I don't know what to do. I'm singing, hey,
Hey!
whoa, hey,
Hey!
whoa.
Oh!
You guys are great. Thanks. forest, in a meadow, in the wood. The crows were holding court there, and before them I stood. Well, I did not know their language, and I did not know their ways, but the sentence passed upon me will haunt me all my days. Singing, hey, hey, whoa, hey, whoa. All right, give me the big solo now. I was driving every highway, navigating every road, and I was meeting every deadline, delivering every load. And when the rattler in the tall grass spied the maiden on her mare, I was watching from my window with my hands tied to my chair.